I have been a patient at the U of M for 28 years. They've been following me with my 3 transplants that I've had at ages 4, 18, and 29.
I'm EMSON. I'm heart transplant number 900.
I'm Katie. I'm heart number 888.
I'm Nancy. I'm heart 317.
Ken McIntosh, heart number 692.
I'm Lori, and I'm heart transplant number 805.
I'm Aaron Rose, and I'm heart transplant number 847. And my dad, Tom Rose, was heart transplant number 19.
You know, each patient is really proud of their number because it not only represents them and their families, but also the legacy of what's been behind them in the future.
I always knew about heart disease. It was always at the forefront of things in my family because my father had heart disease. He had dilated cardiomyopathy, which is when the heart grows weaker and doesn't work as well, so it enlarges to try and build more muscle to pump efficiently. He ended up needing a heart transplant also at 29, the age I received a heart transplant. In my mid-20s, I was living in Egypt, going to school for journalism and working as a reporter, and I started to feel fatigue, shortness of breath. I was coughing a lot. Eventually, I sought medical attention. I saw a doctor, and he recognized right away that I had heart disease, cardiomyopathy, the exact same type of heart disease my father had. Eventually, I had to return home to the United States after my condition continued to deteriorate. My only option was to get a heart transplant. The more time I spent in the hospital, I kept getting sicker and sicker, and eventually doctors were starting to run out of options. But then, finally, in a great twist of fate, on Valentine's Day 2016, I finally got a heart. Within 10 days, I was out of the hospital for the first time in almost 6 months, and I was able to kind of start the second half of my life. It's really kind of hard to describe the gift that is organ transplantation. It's like nothing else there is in the world. It's literally an opportunity to live. Now I think it's really important to do everything I can to nourish this gift I've been given and make sure I'm using it great. And I like to bike and to kayak and to run, and I'm doing all the things that I used to do before heart transplant, and probably even more now. I never feel like I'm held back from anything. I feel like I can do everything I could once do, and maybe even more with kind of a new lease on life.
I live a completely normal life. I live on my own. I work out regularly. I'm able to work a full-time job.
Trying to catch up with my 2-year-old, I could not do much. I could not do anything. After the transplant, I felt so good.
I've got to watch both my sons graduate. I've been to Vegas to my oldest son's wedding, and I have a grandbaby now who is the love of my life.
I consider myself very lucky that I got a heart, that I'm still here today. Since that time, I have 2 new granddaughters. You know, I wouldn't have been around for them.
After receiving my new heart, I was filled with so much gratitude and thankfulness. I spent so much more time with my family and my nieces. Just the opportunity to have a second chance meant so much to me. I appreciate every day that the U has given me.